I hope you're having a great day today. Here's your video lesson. So here are two things I'm going to talk about. I'll talk about those two things, and as usual, if you want me to look at anything or have any follow-up questions, just let me know, and I'll do my best to answer. So it'll be closed on Friday, so if you message me on Thursday night, Friday, it might take me a day or so to get back to you, so just let you know that. So I'm going to go over, I put a spell on you. We talked last, I'll elaborate a bit more what we talked about last time with the tune, and then a new solo concept with it. So first thing is, like we talked about last time, is that if you go to a jam or want to play with other people, you got to understand the form of the song. Even if you're going to sit in your room where you work at home and you're going to jam over this tune, you have to know the chord changes. That way you'll know where to use those target notes. For example, if I'm playing over top of that E chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, I know to land on one of those E's right there, and then over top of the A minor chord. Then back to the E for that one chord, for the E chord, then to the B, back to the E, right? So if you don't know the chord progression or can't play the chord progression, soloing over top of it is going to be that much harder. Otherwise, you're just kind of relegated just to running up and down E minor pentatonic, and who wants to do that? You're capable of so much more things. First thing in here is just a review of the snare backbeat on beats 4 and 10. This one's in 12/8. 12/8 is what I usually use to teach people how to play a blues shuffle figure. The song is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You might want to think of it this way: 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And the accent's happening on the second and fourth triplet, or on the on beat 4 and 10 if you're counting it that way. I might count in triplets. I think it's just easier, but 4 and 10 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then that's going to be the thing that keeps it all together. That way when you improvise over this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? So if you know the chord progression, you can start anticipating what notes to land on before you get there. So, like I said, there's basically 2 sections to this song. You have the verse changes, and you have the chorus changes. And I've wrote out the solo here just so that you can see that the solo is the same, the solo changes are the same as the verse changes. But like I said, in the jam situation, they might be playing the verse for a while and they go, okay, now it's time for everyone to play the chorus, and then you'll have to know those changes as well. So it's not good enough just to know the first part of the song, but you got to be able to play both parts, because if you're playing with somebody else, they're going to want to change back and forth. And also, it just makes it more interesting to play over top of. If you know a section is slightly different than another one, it just makes it cooler to play over top of. So work on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And like we talked about last time, there's varying degrees of intensity with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A minor. And I know that because when I listen to the track, I'm hearing the snare drum. The snare is hitting on those beats, and that's what's going to keep everything together. Right, so first one, the changes, and then once you get the changes under your fingers and inside your noggin, so you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then you can start hearing where the chords are, and you don't need to play these big chunky chords anymore. You can only play double stops for the other parts, but we'll talk about that more in person next time. Last thing I want to talk about is a new solo idea, and it is E form B major arpeggio. This guy right here. I know you know that chord. And then what I'd like you to do, what's neat about this song is when that B7 comes around, the notes in B7 have a note that the other chords don't have. And if you do this, I take this chord here, and rather than playing just because I can play E minor pentatonic over that, it's going to sound fine. But that's a basic level of sophistication, right? We can do better than that. Is that we can take this chord here, we can chop into small pieces. You get this little shape out of it here, and when that B7 chord comes back around, you play that scale over top of it. This may be beyond the scope of this video lesson today, but we can talk about that next time, what scale he's playing. You can play that. Right? So over top of that B7 chord, you actually have another option to play over top of that. Sounds really neat. But start off with this first. And then into that one, into E minor. So you that B7 arpeggio. So you be soloing. And then over top of that. So, well, cool. So do that. Add that the E form B chord to the mix, or the B arpeggio from the E form, and then we'll talk more. We'll combine it with the other soloing things that we've talked about next time, and we'll go from there. Awesome, man. Like I said, if you have questions, let me know. If not, I'll catch you next week, man.